What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of Waving the Red Flag with your favorite self-aware narcissist, Lee Hammock. What is going on, beautiful people? I am Lee Hammock, your favorite self-aware narcissist. I muted it. It's muted. So sorry, y'all. Had a technical difficulty right there trying to learn this Instagram stuff. But anyways, y'all, I am Lee Hammock, your favorite self-aware narcissist. Welcome to another episode of Waving the Red Flag Show. First thing we're going to do is welcome my producer, co-host, Ms. Jessica Montes.
Hello, everybody.
Tonight is the night. Woo! Jessica, y'all, is being a thriver. Jessica is a thriver. She's transitioning tonight to thriving. Well, she's been thriving, y'all. But I always can say, this is what I tell people. Like when you're dealing with narcissistic people, it goes from victim to survivor to thriver. Victims, survivors get out of it. Thrivers kind of reach back and help people become thrivers. Thrivers help survivors. Thrivers help victims. It's kind of like reaching back to pull people out of it as well. So shout out to Jessica for being willing to come on here and share her like super impactful story, y'all. Jessica has a one-of-a-kind story that y'all are gonna feel it. Y'all are gonna feel the story. You're gonna feel the dynamic and whatnot because it's extremely interesting, extremely powerful story, y'all. It, like I said, it might get super emotional, but like I said, thank y'all for tuning in. Like when the mask fell off, and I'll turn this over to Jessica so she can get started with story time.
And so let me just play this.
It's time for story time with Lee. Now sit back, get comfortable, and listen while I help make sense of your story.
So I'm going to try not to be emotional. I'm just want to warn you. We ended our relationship in May 24th, 2023. We were together for almost 2 years. And so a little history about us. We dated 14 years ago. The relationship moved really fast, and I was living with him and his 2-year-old twins within weeks of the relationship. I was told, his mom's crazy, I was told the children's mother was crazy and that they'd been separated for months. And, we just had this instant connection. And, being with him felt amazing. I felt like he was like everything I was always looking for. And, we had fun together and life seemed great. So around Christmas, he said that his ex wouldn't allow him to see his kids for Christmas if he didn't go spend it with her at her house. And I didn't really see a problem with it. That same week we had our own Christmas with his mom, and then I met his brother and sister. So I really didn't question it. And after the holidays, I was laying on his lap on the sofa, and his ex called. And I could hear her yelling at him, and she said something to the effect like, "You came over here and fucked me on Sunday, and now you're with her," and so he hung up the phone eventually, and I confronted him, and I was like, "What? You went over there and fucked her Sunday?" And he was like, "Oh, she's just saying that to piss you off, uh, don't." And I was like, "She didn't know I heard, she wasn't even aware that I had heard the conversation."
So this is 14 years ago, right? So this is when y'all first dated the first time.
Yes, the first
time.
Okay. 14 years ago.
All right.
And so then I said, "Well, if you think you could actually make a relationship with the kids' mom work, I don't want to be the one you resent because you didn't give it a shot." So I also, after that, found a message he was messaging with this other girl named Michelle that seemed to be he seemed to be pursuing a relationship with. So, I felt like betrayed, and knowing all this, I just knew it was over, moved out. After I moved out, I found out I was pregnant, and he insisted that I get an abortion, saying that it would ruin his life to have another baby. He was in his residency as a psychiatrist at the time, and I agreed to the abortion knowing the relationship was over. And I went to the clinic, and he called the clinic and gave them a credit card over the phone. And that was the end of that at that point in time. That was the last, that's when our relationship ended then.
So he didn't come to the actual procedure?
No.
Oh, he called it in like he was okay. I was just curious in that space right there, though, because like you said, I don't think people might have caught the fact that he was in residency to be a psychiatrist. Y'all, I don't know if y'all heard that part right there. But yeah, sorry.
Yes, yes. So yeah, so then okay, like 5 years later after that, he sent me a message on Facebook, and we started talking. Just oh, the kids are getting so big, and uh, I told him I was married, I was doing well, and then that was pretty much the end of the interaction. I didn't hear back from him again. So 5 years after that, now I'm single, and I had been for like a year and a half, and I noticed him liking my Facebook post and my message, just liking different things, and so I messaged him, and from that day forward, we started texting and talking all the time, and um, this was around, I would say, August 2021, and I was living in LA at the time, and had a trip planned to visit my daughter in Portland, where he also lived. So we made plans to meet up for coffee. That he switched to meeting for dinner, and then changed again to cooking dinner and having drinks at his place. So I went to his place for dinner. We caught up on life. He was telling me all the stories about all his past exes, and he had 3 live-in exes after, the after in those years that we had been apart. One was he ended up marrying the kids' mom, and he said, she tricked him into marrying him and divorced him 3 months later to screw him over, to take all his money. Um, and she tried to take his practice. And he also said that she pulled a gun on him. And that's like when the relationship ended. Uh, then his next ex, he said, called the police on him and got him arrested for domestic violence. And he said that she lied and made it all up, and he didn't do anything wrong. And she tried to ruin his career and steal his house that they bought together. And then the next ex, which was the one who lived with him right before he and I started dating, um, he claimed that she cheated on him. And, that's why that ended. And everybody hurts them, and everybody always,
Everybody's hurting him.
yes, yes. Everybody always
Victim
hurts.
mode, perpetual lifetime victim, no matter
Right,
what the circumstance is.
right. So, of course, I felt bad, and I was about everything he went through. And, and he told me some other stories that were pretty sad. And this was like all the like when we first met up again. So we're hearing talking about each other's what's been going on in our life. So he told me it was like fate that we were talking again. Like he always regretted choosing the kids as mom instead of me way back in the day, and that I was the love of his life that got away, blah blah blah. Just all this like made me feel like, oh yeah, maybe this is the right time. Maybe this is our time now. We're older, and it was just meant to be. He wanted to make it official that weekend that we were going to be in an exclusive relationship, and I was open to that since I was single, and excited to feel such an amazing connection. And so this was September of 21. Um, so I moved to Portland a couple months later after dating long distance, and I got my own apartment. We still spent almost all of our time together, with the exceptions of like Mondays and Tuesdays when he had his kids. And I was really excited actually to be a part of their lives again, because I had fond memories of them when they were younger. And I remember them at 2 and my daughter 3 at the time, playing together. And he and his ex wife also had another child, who I was excited to get to know. Um, and it all just felt like really magical and
Yep.
perfect. Yeah.
So I missed the part. So after y'all's first relationship ended, he
Hmm.
went back to the ex-wife and had another baby.
They had another baby.
Oh,
Got pregnant.
interesting.
And then they ended up getting married after, at some point. And then 3 months after they were married, they got divorced.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
oh my goodness, very very uniquely interesting in that space right there. So he's controlling the baby. Okay, all right.
Yeah. Which he said, too, that he wasn't that wasn't planned, and he wasn't wanting, it just happened, and she got pregnant. Also tricked him by getting pregnant. That was another thing. She tricked him to get, got pregnant. Um, so I moved to Portland. um, let's see, and you know, like it all just felt perfect. Like he would tell everybody how lucky he was, and oh, he has the coolest girlfriend. Hey guys, don't have the coolest girlfriend, and he finally found the person who he belongs with. And he would tell this to his colleagues and his kids, and um, just I don't. I mean, just anybody who was in his life, his family. How excited he was. and he just love bombed me like crazy, like made me feel so special, like I, just was everything. And I truly felt loved and like safe for the first time. Like ever, it seemed. Like I never felt like this for anybody in my entire life. So I I then, partially started moving into his house. I still had my apartment. But we started moving some things over in July of 2022. Um, we got an extra room ready for my daughter to move into, and soon after. And then actually, or I still had my apartment till November 2022 that just basically laid vacant, like nobody was there. We were also house shopping at this time, and that's when I learned that he was like hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt.
Oh,
And and then so we had to put house shopping on hold because he was unable to come up with his half of the down payment. And
sorry. So when did you find out he was 100K in debt? Was it like y'all were applying for the mortgage, or I'm a real estate agent, so that's what like I'm a real estate agent in North Carolina. So
yeah,
so you're applying for the mortgage, it's like, yeah, credit's good. This debt right here though, is that how you found out?
yeah, yeah, that's how I
Okay.
found. It's like, well, there was like debt, all that debt, and then like this credit was fine. It was a little under 7.
So
It's like
have you ever seen Anchorman 2?
it's been a long time.
So you remember there's a scene with Kristen Wiig, she was marrying Steve Carell, and she was like, and I bequeath you my crippling student loan debt, and she, like, it was like, it was all horrible stuff. So it's kind of like that,
It's like I was surprised because he makes like 3 times the amount of money I make, and I was surprised to know he was financially struggling. So I was like, okay. And then then he was, I started helping him chip away, and then I gave him a loan on my 0% interest credit cards to help him pay off a high interest credit card that he had, and um, yeah, started chipping away at it. As like a 5-year plan to start buying our house in like 5 years. We decided we'd make a 5-year plan and just start chipping away at the debt.
Mhm.
Even with the loan, he still owes me money, by the way, on that loan.
Oh,
So once my lease was up, I officially moved in. I got rid of most of my things and my place, and was starting like really excited to start building a life together. And that's when things started to shift. It's like he started treating me just differently and like belittling me and making me feel bad about things all the time, and putting me down, and uh,
yeah.
putting me down like about my appearance, or he'd make me feel bad about my career and my financial situation, saying that I could lose all my clients at any time, and
Yep.
I'm not stable, and he I and that he'd be responsible for me and all our bills and have to take care of me. And it just like made no sense because like I was paying rent.
Mhm.
I was paying bills, I was helping with groceries, I was helping him pay off his debt. I don't have any debt outside of my student loans and the loan that I gave him. And I never asked him for a dime.
But you see what happened in that situation right there though. Everything was hunky dory until he got you to move in.
Mhm,
Like now you have no place to go. It's not like you would have been homeless because you are employed and things like that. But once they feel like they have you locked in,
mhm.
that's when they start doing stuff like that. It's just like, you know what? Now you moved in. Now you don't have a lease anymore. So let the good times roll. Like it's kind of like the mask comes off. Like they get to be who they are,
It was
who they
starting to
want to
slip
be.
for sure, starting to
Hmm.
slip a lot, like I was
Yeah.
just, what is like, why is he treating me like this? I don't deserve it.
Hmm.
And then I was like completely overwhelmed because I was, I was doing all the household duties, the cooking, the cleaning, and working full time, and I worked from home. So, I was home most of the time, but also doing all these other things. And then I was dealing with like his kids being disrespectful to me, taking my shit, telling me off, saying rude things to me all the time. And then, I just felt like no one wanted me there. And I was an invader, and I no longer had any support from him. Like he used to sort of support me and act as though he was trying to correct it uh,
Hmm.
before, like I say, things started to really shift. Um, and then would just start these like meaningless arguments with me and say weird hypotheticals, and I'd start to feel crazy, and like I just started to feel like I was walking on eggshells, and I couldn't understand why the house felt so heavy and why everybody seemed so miserable and that why nobody could get along. We had, it was me and him. He has 3 children and then my daughter. So, all of us were in the house, and I could tell like I just was kind of starting to let myself go. I didn't have time for creative projects. I was feeling sick, like physically sick, mentally, like I was actually having like sick physical things happen to my body, and I didn't understand why. Like I just couldn't understand what was happening, and it was
Mhm.
making me feel like it was the kids. Like it was like, oh, the kids are just so much, like when the kids, don't worry, when once they start going out, everything's gonna get better. It's gonna get, it was like a lot of some of that, and then it was, I don't know,
Yep.
it was just so confusing and constant lies.
So it's kind of like future faking while you're in the present with
Mhm.
this person. With this person, like, hey, things will get better. Hey, just hold on tight. It's gonna be a bumpy ride, but after the bumps, after the bumps subside, we'll be good. Smooth sailing. Clear. Calm waters after the storm has subsided. The calm waters, and then just like it'll just be me and you, babe, me and you against the world. Just us, just us riding.
Right,
you
right.
know,
Yeah. Yeah, and
so
it was so then I just had like this. I started to feel too, like in February, I started having like this gut feeling like he was cheating on me or something. Like like just, I don't know why it was like he just started acting cold and distant, and he started going to the gym. He had gained some weight over the holidays, started going to the gym, came home late on his birthday, claimed he had like an analytic, some sort of meeting, uh, went to play soccer when it was snowing one day, and I was like, "How are you gonna play soccer on in the field if it's snowing?" He was like, "I don't know, they didn't cancel it, so I'm gonna go." And then said that later I was like, "That doesn't make any sense," like, and he said that, "Oh, we just met and went to a pub instead of playing soccer," I
oh,
don't things just weren't making any sense after a while. So, because I was feeling this way, I decided that maybe I should move out, we should take a step back, and nobody seemed happy. And so we talked to the kids, and I suggested that maybe it'd be best if I move out so that we can all have our space, and maybe try to, try to maintain a relationship and get close. But like when, or in a place where everybody isn't resenting each other for being forced to live together. His daughter and I had always had like a difficult relationship for some reason. Still don't really understand why. But I do now. I didn't at the time. I mean, I do now more so understand,
yeah.
triangulation happening there with her. And she was like, "Yeah, you should move out." She was like completely on board with that idea. His son did not want me to move. His oldest son was like, "Absolutely, don't move out." And he and I were, had the closest relationship, and
Mhm.
then his youngest son seemed indifferent. But at the end of the day, I decided to move out, and I got my own place, and I was hoping that this could be like a reset for all of us. We were still spending most of our nights after I moved out, most of our nights together, with the exception of the nights that he had the kids.
So, can I ask you a quick question? Did you feel like, so this is gonna sound weird,
Mhm.
but do you feel like things got more comfortable when you moved out? Like,
Um,
when you did you feel a little bit better in that situation? Like you were, it's like you're not under his purview all the time. Like you had moments of peace. Like, even though it's kind of like you're going backwards in a relationship. Like, we're supposed to be moving towards buying a house, but now we're living in separate places now. You
that
know.
that's such a good question because I did. I all of a sudden I felt this weight lift off me. Like I felt lighter. Like
Mhm.
like seriously, like the first couple days I was in my own place, I was like I could breathe again almost. Like I just didn't feel this like I felt like I was um somewhere
Yeah.
I belonged or something. Like I was home. Everything was okay, once I
Because
moved.
you were comfortable by yourself. Because earlier you were saying, like, you start having physical reactions to being in this space. It's just like when you get into these narcissistic relationships and toxic relationships and whatnot. When you move in, it's just like you are going into like a radioactive area. It's just like at first you're cool. You don't even notice the radiation. You can't see the radiation. You don't even notice it. But then you start having ill effects. It's like you start growing an extra. In radiation, you start growing an extra ear or an extra, like, hey, baby, I have an arm growing from here. Is this normal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a searing headache when I come home. Which is like when I'm out in the world, I'm good. But as soon as I come home, it's like a headache, like something in the air here. Because the toxicity of the relationship is kind of like being in a in a like a radioactive area, like a biohazard zone. Like you need a hazmat suit to be in this relationship to survive long term. So when you get out of it and you like, even though y'all, it's like y'all still together, but you're living separately, it's like you have moments of peace. Like when you're living with him, it's just like you always on edge. You're like, yeah, who's coming in the door today? You know, you work from home. He's not working from home, so he comes in the door. He's like,
Well,
who's walking in today? You know, which version of this person?
that's exactly right. Except he did work from home Mondays and Tuesdays, by the way. So it was only Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays that he worked at the office. But still, yeah, it was still like that every day. Like I didn't know, and I didn't realize it at the time. I just thought that I was overwhelmed by, well, I was too. This, overwhelmed by the chores and the kids and all that. But I didn't understand like the heaviness and all, like what you're talking about now. And until I moved out, and like it was almost like the cloud started to kind of clear up a little bit or something. Like the
Mhm.
fog was starting to clear. I had some time to myself now. I wasn't like feeling, yeah. So yes, I did feel that. And the one thing that started to change though is it's like our relationship um started to kind of get worse, but like there it went through the phases of the love bombing, then the um like making me feel even worse, or like, oh, you abandoned us, you abandoned our family, that type of thing. So um so like I say, we were spending most nights together still. And then he started telling me that he needed more space, besides the space he was already getting with the kids.
Oh,
And he said he just needed more alone time to journal and read. Um, and then he also had, like, we had a shared calendar, and I noticed 6 different work dinners planned in April and May, that he'd never had work dinners or plans like this in the past, so I
mhm.
started to feel suspicious. And then he would reassure me there's no one else, and that, I'm the
So
love of his life. Huh?
did you ask? Was there anybody else, or this is something that he just offered up?
I started to feel
Okay.
suspicious, like, this some things he's like, "I would never do that to you, Jessica. I love you. I would never hurt you like that. You're safe with me." I'd hear that all the time. "You're safe with me. You're safe." Um, and then he just started doing weird things, like he'd reassure me and make me feel okay again. And
Mhm.
then he would changed our relationship status on Facebook to single. And I
Yeah.
was like, "What the fuck?"
But then reassure you. Because you see how but that's how trauma bonds are formed. You just back and forth, up and down, high and lows, ebbs and flows, all that other good stuff. It's just up and down, up and down. Like you don't know. Like I said, when they give you a little bit, it's like, oh, what did I do wrong to be for him to be single on Facebook? But then he changes back to it's complicated or something. Without
Well,
don't even tell you. You just like you just wake up in one morning and just like so and so put it's complicated. It's in the relationship and it's complicated.
yeah, it just said single. And the next day, after he sat there and convinced me, after because I was having doubts, and he convinced me, and it was like I was wanting to cancel our trip to Canada and stuff. He's like, "Please, can we just keep the trip to Canada?" It was like, and it was supposed to be at the end of May that we went to Canada, and I was like, "All right, I'll keep the trip. Okay, I'm gonna believe you." And then he switches our Facebook status to single. So then he's like, "Well, you moved out," And I was just like, "What?"
But
He's
you
like,
see how insidious that is right there, though?
"Yeah,
How absolutely insidious and intentional it is to
hmm
say that, but then do that.
right,
Actions and it's like the actions and the words are not matching up. It's just like, hey, look over here, and you look and he just slaps you. You see what I'm saying? It's just like trickery. It's literally a toxic magician that's that's performing like toxic street magic on you.
right,
That doesn't have any benefit for you. It just makes him feel good about himself. Because
exactly."
you said earlier about the dynamic where you said something about my mind literally just went blank. Uh I hate when mine goes blank like that. Y'all literally just went it just ah just go ahead. It'll come back to you. Yeah, it'll come back to me.
Yeah, so then I was like, I felt like he was playing games, and it just pissed me off. And so I was like, well, now that I'm single on Facebook, I was asked out on a date, so I'm gonna go.
You
And
told him that?
yeah, and then so I was,
I get you,
he was pit, huh?
you see them cartoons when their heart be beating out the chest, it's like that's how it was. Like he was fucking angry as hell. His heart when you said that, he's like, you a date.
And I was like, well, I'm single on
Yeah.
Facebook now, and I was like pissed, and it was like asked on a date, and it was somebody who he may have known, and so then uh I or I felt like now I'm playing games back, like I was, and so he was pissed. He was crying. He got like mad and like had this like crying fit, like
Mhm.
after it was it was like a toddler crying, like almost like a, it was like a strange,
I'm
strange.
glad you said it though, because it's just like it's a toddler reaction.
Mhm,
It absolutely is, because this is a clear example that you can be extremely well educated, have a good career. You can be a rocket scientist.
mhm,
You can be a 50-year-old rocket scientist or a 45-year-old psychotherapist,
mhm,
but you have the emotional maturity of a 12-year-old, you
mhm.
know, of an 8-year-old, something like that. You can be, you know, I have to go to work for NASA tomorrow. I had to put a man on the moon, but being be plugging his ears with his fingers and just like, I can't hear you, at home. It's just unique. It's very different, in those spaces right there. So,
Well, there was that's like I'd seen him do it those 3 times where he like threw a fit like that, where he was crying, like literally crying like a toddler, like that full like, like like angry, like like that kind of thing. So anyway, so after that, I was like, I'm sorry, I just did it to piss you off. I love you, okay, let's make this work. And so again, now the relationship's in this flex period where we're arguing, then he's love bombing me, and then he's like gaslighting me, and it was like I just felt like even crazier than ever. But then again, he'd reassure me that it's not the case. He loves me. And then sometimes he'd say, well, maybe we should just be friends. Well, maybe, and then I would, it just was like this back and forth. Like, maybe we should just break up. Maybe, we were just doing this. And he's like, no, I love you. It was this madness happening.
mhm.
And then he's like, if you can't trust me, I don't see how to. So I finally let go. I was finally starting to let go and, to try to trust him. And this brings us to the final week. He had told me that his daughter was struggling with her mental health, and that I was the reason because a strong woman abandoned her. And it's weird because she was the one who voiced that she wanted me to move out the most. Like she wanted me to move out, and it just didn't make any sense. And I said I thought she'd be happier now that I'm not in the house. And then he again, he blamed me, and I was just so confused. But I felt really sad, and so I decided to call her and just check in with her. And we had a pleasant phone conversation, and I asked her if she wanted to go to lunch or get a smoothie sometime,
Mhm.
and she said yes. And so we made plans to go get a smoothie that next day after school. I picked her up. Uh, we went. She also wanted to see my new place, so we came to my new place. She's the only one who hadn't seen it yet. My daughter met up with us, and we had just had the best time. We spent like a few hours together even. And I finally like felt, like really like, wow, maybe this is everything's gonna be okay. I went and took her home. His parents had been in town that week, and so I went in and said hi to them before heading back home. And I really did feel this sense of hope that everything was going to be okay. The next day, he came over to my house for lunch, like he often did, or I'd go to his office. His office is a block and a half from my apartment, so we would spent lunch together pretty often. And I was just telling him, after talking with her, that I just felt this new sense of hope, and that like I was excited to see that maybe our relationship could be turning a new leaf. And everything really felt happy in that moment. I told him that I was going to start letting my guard down and trust him, and I was really feeling optimistic. Well, this was May 24th. This was the day at our house. And I'm going to show you some footage from my Ring camera.
All right, so y'all prep for this.
Sorry.
Sorry. Prep for this right here, because this is a very unique day right here. This
Yes.
is her and him. The timeline. The timeline. And she can establish the timeline better because she experienced it. The
Mhm.
timeline is very important right here, y'all. What day is this?
This is May 24th at noon, around noon for his lunch.
May 24th. So 5/24, 12 p.m.
Here.
5/24, 12 p.m.
So he comes over and everything's this. Is that okay?
Kissing goodbye.
That was a kiss hello.
Oh, this is the welcome kiss.
Mhm.
Oh, look at the grip on the back. That's love. That's
We're in love. This is what love.
5/24 at 12 p.m. So this is noon on 5/24 right there. So y'all see, like I said, the timeline is very important here. And notice the clothes, notice the sweater, notice remember, y'all, mental screen. Y'all have to, I don't know what type of phone y'all have. You know how to screenshot on your phone? Do that with your eyes right now. Screenshot with your eyes. Do like Take a mental photo right now. Okay,
So
go.
after we had lunch, we were sitting out there on my patio, and I had got little big burger, and we were having lunch. And then we went in really quick for a quickie. We had time for a quickie. And so we went in, and this is us coming out after the quickie.
I think I got it here.
Okay, I'll get this.
Okay, thank you.
See you tomorrow.
All right.
Talk later.
Okay.
Love you.
Love you too.
Talk later. Sure. Love you. Love you too. That's
Love
it.
you
He said love you too.
Bye.
He comes back around. Going around.
Getting back to work after that. So so then, I mean, I'm thinking everything's good. Okay, good. Everything's getting better. We're having a happy day. And he told me he was going to go home that night to spend time alone because his mother had just been there, and he wanted to kind of clean up the house. And I understood. I understood, like, okay, yeah, take a night alone. I'll see you tomorrow. We were planning on spending the weekend together and going backpacking. It was what we were going to do. So then I just had this feeling in my gut, like something was off. And we had Life 360 together, that tracking app. We've had that forever together. And I just had this really bad feeling. So I checked the Life 360, and I noticed like an address that I didn't he was at an address I didn't recognize.
What
Uh,
time is this?
this was at 8 o'clock that night.
8 p.m. So this still 5:24.
Yeah, yes, same day. So he went back to work, and he was at work at 8 o'clock still, which is also unusual for him to stay late. And then and then I checked in like around 8, I would say around 8:30 is when I noticed he was at a different address that didn't make sense. So I looked up the address, and I noticed it was a girl that he was following on Instagram, the name on the address. Um, so then let's see, I drove to the house. I just drove to the house. And so this is what happened when I showed up.
So this is the Ring doorbell. This is not her Ring doorbell, y'all. This is the Ring doorbell from the house.
Oh, sorry.
This is the Ring doorbell from the house that she went to. So just to prep y'all, this is the Ring doorbell from the house that she went to. This is not her house, y'all. Yeah, this don't look at the front. This don't look at the front of her house.
This is the Ring camera from the girl's house.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go.
What the fuck? I'm hanging out with someone.
Who?
Jess, don't do this.
Don't do this. Don't do what?
You gotta go.
How dare you do this to me? I want to talk. No, I'm going to talk to her.
Go.
She needs to know the truth.
Same day.
Same day.
Same day. Y'all see that calm demeanor he walked her with. I'm gonna ask her to play this again really quick because I know this is the first time I saw this. Watch the body language change on this person, y'all. Watch his body language. This is the same person that was at her house, but it's not the same. This is the same body, but it's not the same person that was at her house. Watch the subtle shifts. Y'all remember the loving, caring, the unique, slender body language when he was at her house? I love you. See you later. Love you too. Y'all remember that, right? Remember that stuff. So watch his body now. You're gonna notice his difference. Watch. This is a different person. That's why I'm like, oh, that's the same body. It's a different person. So watch it play. Just play it again. Just watch the body language.
What the fuck?
I'm hanging out with someone.
Who?
Jess, don't do this.
Don't do this. Don't do what?
You gotta go.
How dare you do this to me?
Right.
I want to talk. No, I'm going to talk to her.
Go.
She needs to know the truth.
Y'all see the body language? You see, yeah, he tried to grab her. You see that different person? This is the same body. It's a different person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Don't do this. Don't do what? This. What you doing?
Right.
What you doing? This. What you doing? You know what you're doing. Why do I have to tell you what you're doing?
I'm in complete shock, complete shock. And so then I go talk to her. I go up to her door, and she's like, I don't want any problems. And I was like, I just want you to know we've been together for almost 2 years. A liar. I know I saw you on Instagram. I'm going to send you my Ring camera footage that he was at my house today. We slept together. I don't know how long you've been dating, but I'll give you all of my text messages for however long that is. You tell me. I'm going to send you a message tonight. And then I started leaving. This is what happened as I was leaving.
How could you fucking do this to me? Because I knew you were lying and cheating on me. And you're a fucking liar.
Please go.
How could you do this to me?
Can you go? Jess, because as you know for months,
That's
I
not.
want to be your friend. I don't want to be your partner.
I'm gonna show her the truth.
Okay, you show her. That'll help everything. Okay, just go.
I didn't even recognize this person. I'd never seen that. I mean, I couldn't believe, like, I even went into him for comfort.
Yeah.
That's how, I mean, messed in my head I was or something. Like, it didn't even make sense to me. I was just
Yeah.
like,
The same person who's in a toxic relationship with a narcissistic person, healing and harm come from the same hand.
yeah,
The same person that is hurting you is the same person you expect to comfort you. And it's a wild dynamic. That's where a lot of the confusion comes into play in a lot of these spaces, y'all. That's literally what happens. You see it now. Earlier, he was like, "See you later, girl. Love you so much." Now
Yeah.
he's like he's about to try to score a touchdown on the 1 yard line, try to forearm shiver her away. That'll help out a lot. Go ahead and tell her what you need to tell her. Like, you see how dismissive and kind of damn near evil it is right there, y'all.
yeah.
You see that the body language has changed up. Now he's just like, "Don't touch me. I want to be your friend for months." Like, you just fucking what
Yeah. I was,
months? Are we are we in the metaverse? Are you Miles Morales? Are you are you Miles Morales in this space right here? Like, what months? I want to be your friend for months. Like,
I couldn't believe it. I felt completely just, I was in such shock and angry and upset and hurt. And I just didn't even know what I was feeling at that moment. So then I go home, and I was talking with my friend Abby, and I'm a YouTube producer, so that's what I do for a living. I produce live YouTube shows. I work with comedians, and that's what I do. And I happened to be on a stream like this with my friend Abby, when he called me, that, like, I don't know, I guess a half hour later that night. And so I have the phone call, and I want to give you guys a trigger warning on this, because, and I'm also angry. So you're going to see me angry. And I just, Lee, go ahead and chime in whenever, but
no, just you just sound like the Hulk. You just like you preparing people to see the Hulk. You're like, you won't like me when I'm angry. You like you about to turn into the big green Jessica on here.
yeah. And I couldn't even fucking believe what I was hearing on this phone call either. So
but this is I'll say this before you play it. But this is what happens in some of these toxic relationships where you become somebody you become somebody different. So y'all see how kind and sweet Jessica was earlier. She's like, I'm going to show her. And she was going in for comfort earlier. She's not looking for comfort on the phone call. I was just prep y'all for that.
Yeah.
This is not a comforting phone call. So y'all just watch this right here.
Cody's calling.
what?
Yes, I just want to say, like, do you understand that this is closure for us?
Oh, fuck yeah, I do.
Okay.
Go to hell.
Okay. Can you stop blowing things up?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Can we just like have it end now?
We could have had it end a long time ago if you would have been honest with me. How long have you been seeing this other girl?
So let me pause right there real quick. So I didn't think about this earlier, but the way he's talking to you right now, he could have been recording this conversation just like you are. Because listen to the language he's using. He's using very dismissive language. Like, he can share this with somebody else later on.
Well, it's interesting though you say this, because he also, it was outside when he was calling me, and her Ring cameras were out there.
Oh, so he's there at her house making this call.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
yeah,
Still
so
out
yeah, so there you go. It wouldn't. Or somebody listening to him, or somebody will listen to this later on. It's very uniquely, it's very leading language, is what I would say. He's going to make it seem like he just didn't see you this morning, or if he did see you this morning, it was under different pretenses, or somehow it's your fault. This is victim mode, like, personified right here. Y'all will see victim mode here. So sorry.
You want me to hit play?
Yeah, you can hit it. You can hit it.
At this point, Jess, it doesn't matter.
No, I want to. Why won't you tell me? Don't you think I deserve something?
It doesn't matter, Jess.
Why?
Why does it?
No, why and where? Why did you meet her? What is this? And how did you meet her?
I don't know.
How did you meet her?
I don't know.
Doesn't matter, Jess.
Why would you do this to me?
I want to be friends, and that's it.
Why'd you
I wanna
fuck
have
me
a
today
harem.
then?
Because I want to have a harem.
So that was not planned silence right there. I want to have a harem. That's unique. Listen to the language, y'all. Listen.
And that was a stupid fantasy. And I'm sorry I hurt you with it.
What the fuck? But how could you do this? How could you do this to me? Why would you make me believe everything you still made me believe? Why would you do this? Why would you?
All the things I've been saying to you have been true, and I'm sorry that it was so confusing.
Are you fucking
I
insane?
want to be your friend.
Why did you fuck me again today then? If you knew we were gonna go see this girl again tonight, and when
Host me over there, Jess.
you know what, Cody, I am so the thing is that now everything is so like I had all this gut
It's
feelings.
just over, Jess. It's just over. That's all it is. It's so the end. Close the book.
Oh no, you're right. Like now I know that you're a liar. Now that I know for a fucking fact that you are like this awful person that I believed you were, and I was trying so hard not to believe that you were this. I was trying so hard. I mean, I was and every fucking part of me, every instinct inside of me was saying, "Don't."
That's how
How
I
do you
feel
have?
about
How do
it.
you have no heart? How do you just have
I
no
do
heart?
have a heart.
No, you
I
don't.
have been completely honest with you.
You
and
have
I'm
not.
Sorry that I ended up hurting you.
You have not been honest with me. You're a fucking liar tonight. You said you're going home. You said you're going home to be alone. You're a liar. You're a fucking liar. Quit gaslighting me. You're a fucking liar. Admit it. I'm sick of you fucking telling me what your fucking stupid lies and what you think I'm thinking. Fuck you. We have been in a relationship for 2 fucking years. Fuck you and your lies. I will not believe another fucking word that comes out of your fucking stupid mouth. I'm sick of you fucking gaslighting me. You are a sick, twisted fuck.
I loved you until you came here and blew my life up and blew shit up.
Oh, blew your life up? You mean exposed you for the piece of shit you are?
Saw me dating someone is what you did.
Oh,
And
yeah,
you didn't
dating
have any
someone
problems
else
with
besides
that.
your girlfriend?
What?
Dating somebody else besides your girlfriend of 2 years? Who's still trying to build a life with your kids?
We were broken up and you were trying to build a life with
We
my
were
daughter.
not broken up.
Being desperate.
We were not broken up.
Yes, we were. Yes, we were. And you know that. That's why you made a date with my daughter without telling me.
Yeah. So I push pause right there. So
Yeah.
y'all to take a break because that's heavy, super heavy. You see him. You hear the snicker.
Mhm.
Did y'all hear the duper's delight? The snicker, the sadism right there, the sadistic nature of this person. He's taking pleasure in her pain. Yeah. So yes, exactly, Jan Rob. Yeah, he's taking pleasure in her pain, like because you did this, but also this is the part right here. There's a truth to what he just said. He's angry as hell that you went out with his daughter. That angered him because I don't think he wanted that connection to be established like that. So it angers him that you went out with his daughter behind his back and whatnot, and tried to establish that relationship because he didn't want the relationship to be established. You see that
Because
space right there?
he was making me feel guilty and about leaving her because he was, about her and all that. And he didn't expect me to call her.
Yeah.
After he told me that, and I did. And he also, it just happened last minute, and but I didn't. I wanted, she wanted to do it, and I was really excited that she did, and I thought that would be a good thing. I thought it was gonna be a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Helpful for a relationship.
Yeah, I see. That's the intent, but for him, that little snicker right there. I didn't hear that the first time. That snicker, yeah. Now he's taking pleasure in getting a reaction, but now he's just like, because I think in his mind, he knows that it's done with you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, I need to go ahead and try to secure this new person by trying to paint her as wild and crazy. So that's why he's like, he's calm the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
calm voice, Jess, I didn't do that. I only
Mhm.
fucked you because you
coerced me over here.
Coerced, yeah. You got me over there and you made me say I love you. You made me do that. It's on you. You know, it's on you. You saw me dating somebody else. You see in that space right there how sadistic that is. That is so sadistic, y'all. Like, that's a wild mindset right there. That's scary. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. Breaks over, guys. Back to the video.
But
You're
spin it,
sneaky and you're trying to get me
spin
into
it,
your
Cody.
life, and then
Spin
you
it
start
all you
using
want.
sex to
Spin it,
try to
you
get me into
stupid
your
piece of
life.
shit. Spin
And
it,
I'm sure
spin
you
it.
can expose me in the way that you want to
Spin it however you want, you fucking liar.
I know
You're a
what happened,
fucking
and so
liar.
so
Oh, do your
does my
kids know? Do your
family,
kids know that you're
my
dating other
kids.
people? Do your kids know you're dating other
Yeah.
people?
And so does my mom, and so does Tim. Yeah, they do. And then you went into my house. Isn't that embarrassing?
Why didn't you tell me?
Well, I didn't tell you, and I didn't think I had to tell you
Why?
What?
because it's none of your business.
And look at that.
What?
Nothing is making sense to me right now, too. I'm just so confused, and I'm just like, what is this?
How is this none of what? How is this none of how is your life and your well-being none of your business? Yeah, like I said, this person I think is a mental health professional, and this is psychotic behavior right here, y'all. This is psychotic shit, right? This is not just normal narcissism. That right there is it's truly psychotic behavior. Yeah, it's just you do. Everybody else knows except for you. What? That if that's not incriminating and just saying that I didn't tell you that I was cheating on you, that's literally an admission of guilt right there. I did not tell you that I was cheating on you. You didn't need to know. Everybody else knew.
Mhm.
You didn't need to know. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah, who said that? Somebody who said it? Tom, it's my cheating is none of your business, not your business. Yes, yes. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, y'all. This is not just your regular run-of-the-mill narcissist. No, I already said that.
He says,
Clapping cheeks.
ain't none of my business.
Yeah, that's none of my business right there. Yeah,
Yes.
and so I'll answer this. Could it be true that his mom knows? Could that be true? So that's the thing about narcissistic people, y'all. It could be true. That's how they get you. It could be true. Doesn't mean it is. It's always a question. It could be true. You know,
She didn't act like anything was different when I went there.
because she didn't know then. Okay, so she didn't. Or
The kids, I don't think they knew either.
the kids probably didn't know, but the mom could have known and just been like, "Oh, my baby, he's just trying to find love." You know,
Right.
my baby. You know, in that space. So.
All right. I continue.
You're like, aren't you embarrassed? Aren't you fucking humiliated aren't you humiliated that you went and you took my daughter out and that you
acting like you know what's going on here and you don't.
Yeah, because you know why? The person that's supposed to tell me didn't. That's why I don't know what's going on.
Yes, I've been telling you.
No, you haven't.
We're over. We're just friends.
Fuck
No,
you.
We're nothing. No, we're never going to be anything. I can't have this drama in my life.
So I'll hit pause real quick. But y'all see how he just said you didn't need to know, but you knew. Would you see how confusing this conversation is and how it can just add to her anger right here? How this is like pouring gasoline on it. It's just like you didn't need to know, but I told you. What? So oh my goodness. Okay, sorry.
You're the drama. You're the drama. You're the drama, Cody. Not me.
Okay.
You are the drama.
Okay, I'm the drama. You need to get rid of me. And
I am getting rid of you. Why'd you call me? Leave me the fuck alone. Fuck you. Go to hell.
I want to get closure. Like, I want to help give you closure.
I don't need your fucking help. I got it.
In the end.
I got your help today when I fucking caught you lying and cheating on me. When I caught you, I got my closure. So thank you. Thank you for my closure. This isn't
together, so I
fuck
can't
you.
lie and
Fuck
cheat
you.
on
We
you.
were.
Understand?
We
No,
were.
you weren't. No, you weren't, Jess. And come on, you know that.
Can you
All
this
kinds
is
of
such
sex things.
gaslighting piece of shit. You're such a fucking gaslighting piece of shit, dude. Like,
Am I?
oh
How
yeah.
is this
Oh yeah.
gaslighting?
Oh yeah.
That
This is
that didn't
it's
happen, or
amazing to
did?
me. This is amazing to me. Like, it's so fucking clear. Like, holy shit. It's so clear. Go to hell. You'll never ever have me again. And I hope you fucking rot in your miserable fucking lonely life that you're gonna have. Go to hell. There's your closure. Bye. Don't fucking call me again.
Holy moly, he is a piece of work.
All right. just really quick to answer some of the questions in the comments. That's my friend Abby, who was in the bed. She and I were on a stream together when he just happened to call.
Yeah, shout out to you for sharing that. That's powerful. I said when we first talked about it, I didn't see I think you might have given me the short version. You cut the clip. I didn't hear the screaming part. That's why I was just like, whoa.
The part that the part that disturbed me the most in that video was the part where he says, "Because I want a harem." And I'm sorry I got you caught up in that fantasy. So I took that little clip and I also sent that along with my ring camera footage to Jen, the girl that I caught him at her house cheating on me. So the reason, by the way, that I have her ring camera footage is that the night, after this happened, I sent her my footage and I sent her my phone number, and she called me the next day and we talked and she believed me. And so I would like to announce tonight our special guest, Jen, so you can hear her side of this story. And so here is Jen. Hi, Jen.
Shout out to Jen for coming on here, y'all. So this is the very uniquely rare instance where the new person, the possible new supply person, listens, believes you, takes heed. Shout out to you, like seriously, because a lot of people were just like, oh, he was just like that with you, he's not gonna be like that with me, and they would get into it and just get their life ruined. But so shout out to you. You have a very different mindset. So seriously, shout out to Jen for coming on here, and
I would like to allow her to give her story now, so everybody can hear what her experience was with this person.
Yeah, I just want to start by saying she saved me just as much as I saved her, I think, in this instance, like from him. Like, I was only talking to him for about 3 weeks when she showed up at my house that night. So we weren't even in a relationship. And I was a victim of domestic violence about a year ago. And after that, with the help of like people on Instagram, I was able to realize, he was a violent narcissist. Because like the whole relationship, he kind of made me believe that I was the one, that caused all the problems. And, he gaslit me pretty good. And, I kind of had my guard up already when Cody slid into my DMs. And it was about a post about being a victim of domestic violence that he first talked to me about.
Your post? Was it your post? Something
Yeah.
you posted? Okay.
So he approached me about that and saying like that he's a psychiatrist. He's a father of 3 and I'm a mother of 3. And he was like pretty empathetic and like a good listener. He kind of was like, oh, I can relate. My ex was crazy too. And he told me about his ex-wife from like 10 years ago that like pulled a gun on him, but it didn't really have a story for that, like to make any sense.
And he told you she put a gun to his head, even, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he said.
Yeah, like he made it even more. And it might be, I was wondering if it's because he had heard about her domestic violence and was having to I don't know, be more, I don't know. Anyway.
Did he hear about Jen's domestic violence?
Yes.
No, so yeah, he absolutely, he saw that, and he saw a space. He saw a space for entry, because when you're a victim of domestic violence, so shout out to you, like I said, super survivor, super thankful for you being here. Like, so when you're a victim in these spaces, you have your walls up. Now you are super guarded. Your walls are up here, right here. You see what I'm saying? Just like nobody's getting behind this wall.
Mhm.
But then you got a psychiatrist that, hey, I'm a psychiatrist, and guess what? I can help you. And I understand. I'm a good listener. And I also have 3 kids. So you let him, it's kind of like you open the gate for him. Like, okay, he's a safe person. So you open the gate for this person. It makes sense, because now he's weaponizing what he does for a living for pretty much, evil.
Yeah, he came across as very like friendly at the beginning. Like he never acted like he wanted to date me. It was more like, oh, I want to help you on your garden, because he knew I was, trying to have a garden, and I told him that like all the deer were eating my vegetables, and he was like, oh, I'll help you build a fence, and I'll help you fix your tractor, and like yeah, so I was like, well, first, I need to meet you in public. Like, I'm not gonna just invite someone from random Instagram over my house. So it ended up being like a date for drinks one night, and it was pretty short, and he was kind of awkward, but like kind of like sweet in a way, like, and kind of was like, oh, he's kind of awkward and nervous, like, oh, isn't that cute? I don't know, like, I decided to keep seeing him and give him another chance, and I invited him over to my house for drinks on my porch one night. A couple nights later, and that's when he like started like getting kind of intense and like kissing me,
Oh God.
and I was like, that's enough, time to go. And yeah, he was really like attentive, and like he would text me all the time, like every morning, good morning and good night every night. So it's like,
But
you
so
know,
you were like you see how you can start to feel safe in a
mhm.
situation like this type of person. There's very similar language to what Jess was using earlier, when she was just saying, "Oh, I felt safe with this person." Safety first. It's like they want to make you feel safe.
Mhm. But it also was a red flag for me. Um, Kind of like I was like, is this guy love bombing me? Um, because I was like, he barely knows me, so why is he that into me? Um, and then he was also like, oh, well, I'm have this backpacking trip I planned that I'm going by myself, but I'll cancel it and spend the weekend with you if you want. And he was like, and I was like, what? That's weird. But that weekend we never got that far, because it was like another night that I had him over for drinks after his parents left town. Um, like he planned this whole thing. Like when his mom was in town, he couldn't see me for like a whole week, and he would be texting me like a countdown, like 2 more days till we can be together. And
Was it really his mom? Was his mom?
Yeah,
Was it?
because remember I went and said hi to her. His mom.
Oh, okay,
This
okay.
is all the same time.
Ah, this is the metaverse.
Hmm. Yeah, she was really in town for that week, and he was spending most days with me. Like
Ooh.
yeah, I was actually planning on asking him about who the brunette girl was in all his Instagram pictures. It wasn't like recent pictures, but it was like months before. I would going through his like hiking trip pictures, and there was Jessica in some of the pictures still. Like he didn't take them down. So I was like gonna ask him about that, because he hadn't mentioned any relationships since his marriage, which is like 10 years ago or something. So we never got that far, because like shortly after he came over, he like failed to fix my lawnmower. And I
Oh.
was like, oh, this guy obviously doesn't have any handy skills. And then he was like, did some dramatic thing where he like led me to like this field in the sunset and like kissed me, and it was like a little too romantic. And it was like,
just for context, this is that night, by the way.
yeah.
This is
So
not-
he came over there in that sweater just to fix the
Yes,
lawnmower.
he was in the same fucking sweater. Which
I'm
I
not,
thought was
I'm,
a
proud,
kind
I'm
of
not laughing at you. It just the
short
sweater.
sweater, but he's a psychiatrist.
He came over with the sweater to fix the lawnmower. But you see how fairy tale Disney it is. Let me take her to a field of sunflowers and kiss her to make her feel that. But that shows you that, like I'm telling y'all, it seems like it's a small detail, but that just kind of lends into the pathology of this person right here. Like that's something he saw on TV. That's something he knew somebody would like. That's something he thought somebody would like. He was like, let me plan a picnic in the sunflower. That's not something he wanted to actually do, probably. He thought that it would make you trust him more. And he's so thoughtful in doing things like this. That's Disney stuff. You see what I'm saying? That's like Disney romance stuff, type of stuff right there. That's the type of stuff that people who don't really know how to interact with humans, they do things that they think you will like. They watch other people, they analyze it, they take it in like a robot. Like, they do a scan and like, let me 3D print it over here, within this relationship space. So that happens right there, y'all. Sorry, you up.
Yeah, so it was, shortly after that, it was getting dark and we went back on my porch and we're talking. And that's when a strange car pulled up my driveway. And, at first I was very terrified because a year ago, like my ex tried to kill me in this house and he got, a no contact order placed on him and he got released on a monitor, but then allowed to move to another state. So he's awaiting trial still.
Oh.
And he's not being monitored. So I always had this fear that he's going to come back and, take revenge on me or send somebody to take revenge on me. Because, I got to live in the house that he was living in, which is like a really cool old house on 60 acres in Portland, Oregon, which is amazing. So like he lost everything. So he really could kill me because of that. Like now he has nothing. So I was pretty terrified. It was like, I'm out in the country. It's really dark. And I was like PTSD of like shit going down. Like I don't want to deal with any kind of relationship drama. Like seeing her that upset. I
So
actually like
when
saw
Jessica pulled
myself.
up, y'all were on the porch. Y'all were not in the house.
Yep.
Oh,
And
so I thought
my
y'all. I
brand new
thought.
house, so I was
Yeah, I
like
thought.
hiding. But
Oh, I
I
thought
kind of
y'all.
saw her for a bit.
Okay, I thought I thought he was in the house and came outside. So that adds a
And
very.
when I went up there to the door too, I could tell she was upset. Like I could see her visibly, and I was like, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry." I was like kind of like apologetic to her while I'm telling her I'm going to prove to you, and I left because I was like, "Oh, her kid's here," like her
Yeah.
dog sleeping in the room. So I did feel like anyway. So sorry, Jen. Continue on. And it's just like once I pulled in.
Yeah. He said to me, "Oh, that's my ex-girlfriend. Don't worry about it." Like
Oh,
he said
Jesus.
ex-girlfriend, but I was like, now we know it's not an ex-girlfriend, but it's his actual girlfriend. But yeah, he was like, I'll take care of it. Like, and he walked really like calm, like weirdly calmly, like a little too calm for somebody that,
As you can all see in the video.
going through that.
Yeah.
So when I saw Jess, I was like, I recognized myself in her when I was being abused and, emotionally fucked with, like, and I was like, she's not the crazy one. Like, and I was putting it all together. Like, I definitely knew he's a narcissist in that moment. Just before I even got the proof, like, I didn't even need the footage. Like, I already kind of knew. So yeah, I was hiding in my house, and she left, and it was quiet for a while, and I was like, maybe he left. That would be good because I don't really want him in my house at all. Like, but he was just sitting there in the dark, just like not doing anything.
Out on her porch, right?
Yeah. And so I was like, I think you should leave. And he didn't leave. And I didn't know what to do, I guess. I kind of like had a freeze response or like, and I was just like, talk to him for, I think it was like 2 hours. He was just like talking to me. And
What was he saying exactly?
I was questioning him about, like the whole friend thing. I was like, not that I really cared because I didn't want to be with him, but I was like, why would you be friends with your ex? Like, that doesn't sound healthy. And like, he made up some story like that she was like weak and like fragile and needed him. And he, he was going to let her go slowly or some kind of BS. And eventually I was just like, started just asking him questions like, so do you just get off on having multiple women go after you? And he was like, answered honestly. He's like, yes.
Oh,
Um, and I was like, what do you do with that kind of information? You're just like, what the fuck? Like, so I was getting these texts or Instagram DMs from Jessica because she had got home and she was really upset. She sent me, her Ring camera footage, and he didn't know that I was watching it, but he was like, "Oh well, you're not going to see anything on there." But yeah, there's definitely proof on the video. That's all the proof I needed. But I was like, you should probably call her and give her closure. I told him to do that.
oh.
Because I was
So,
like, I just wanted to wash my hands clean of this whole situation. I was like,
so
you
that's when he
deal
went
with
to the porch. That's when he went to the porch for
Yeah,
that
so he
closure.
went outside and called
So
her.
yeah, it's all the puzzles are the puzzle pieces are fitting together. I told you earlier when I was talking to Jessica, I was just saying this is an act. He's on a stage right now. He's like, and action. Hey Jessica, we broke up years ago, months ago, really. This is me giving you closure. That's why he kept harping. He said it more than one time. I was wondering why he kept saying more than one time closure. He's like, I'm giving you closure. I'm giving you closure. Oh, so you directed him to give her closure. Okay. Makes more
Because
sense.
he thought if he gave her closure that he'd still have a chance with me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's where his mind was at. It's like, if I give her closure, I can still possibly get, I can get my needs met here, or I can I can add another person to my harem, a vulnerable person. That I need to emphasize how evil it is to know somebody's a victim of domestic violence who literally survived with her life, and to target this person and to do this type of shit.
Yep.
That's evil. Yeah, it's evil.
And he was following her on Instagram for a few weeks, right? Before he reached out to you?
Yeah, probably at least a month.
Oh, yeah. So kind of stalking her Instagram
Mm-hmm.
to find out about her.
Yeah,
So,
and he is a licensed medical professional treating people. He shouldn't be allowed to have that capacity, I don't think.
well, so after all this happened, and Jen and I talked and everything, she also heard the harem, the moment where he said the harem fantasy. And he sent her text messages the next day. So by the way, when I asked him, like, how could you do this to me? I don't understand, trying to get closure. He said, I went to his house, and I went to his house that night. I went into the garage, I know the key code, and I went in the garage, and he had the door to the garage locked to the house. And he came down the stairs and he was like, you need to fucking leave. And I was like, I can't. I'm like, how could you do this to me? It doesn't make any sense. And then I was hurt and upset, and I grabbed like the backpack because we were supposed to go backpacking, and I took my Pellegrino, and I just grabbed stuff and I left. And so the next morning I was drunk. I actually took an Uber there to do this, by the way, to go talk to him. And then the Uber actually was still there by the time I was leaving out, and I hopped back in. And then I went home, and the next morning I wake up and I see the backpack and I'm like, oh fuck, But I was thinking in my mind at the time, like, this will make him talk to me. So in the morning I bring the backpack back and I just lay it up on the front porch of his house, and he comes running downstairs, and he has a door that's glass, and he was like, you're gonna fucking go to jail. And I'm just like, who are you? Like, I mean, the day 2 days before, I thought we were in love. It just didn't make any fucking sense to me. And so I was like, he's like, where's my cup, and where's the Pellegrino? And I didn't bring the Pellegrino because it was mine. And I was like, it's at the house. He's like, if you don't get the Pellegrino, I'm gonna call the police. So he had to drive all the way back home, go get the Pellegrino, and his cup that fell out of the backpack. I don't even know how he saw that. and then I brought it back and I put it on the porch, and I said, I drank one last night. And he goes, then leave a quarter. And so I was I'm just like shocked. He like, who fucking are you? Like, who? Like, this is, to me, honestly, this is when the mask completely came off. So then I go down toward my car, and he goes, forget the quarter. And then I leave. And then he's like threatening to call the police on me. And then the next day, I was like, how? I was like, I just don't understand how you could do this to me. It doesn't make any sense. And that's all what I was hearing. I'm going to call the police. I'm going to call the police on you. And then that was, anyway, that was that. So then the next day, he starts to send Jen text messages. And I wanted you to read these with Jen Lee. Do you feel comfortable reading this, Jen?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I am him.
You're going to be him and Jen's.
Oh, let me my glasses.
This is so this was a Wednesday night when all this happened. This is Thursday the next day. And oh, sorry, I'm going to put myself up here, but there you go, in between you guys. So
I was just like, what happened? What happened there? Okay, so I'm gonna start to the top. It says, I feel sick to my stomach for introduced. So this is after everything has happened, right? So what's the time period on this very quick, Jess?
So Wednesday was night was the night all this happened. This is the next day that he's still texting Jen. But after he just told me, like, you know, that he's going to call the cops. Like, that's what the answers I was getting after being in almost 2-year relationship with this person. I'm just completely like, don't matter at all. No, I was getting nothing.
Okay, you were getting nothing because I think he's smart enough to know that you were done after that right there. So this is next day. So this is 525.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Okay. So this is so all that. Oh yeah, all that was 524. This is 525 at I think I say 12. 1. Hold on.
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
This is 2 o'clock. So he says, I feel sick to my stomach for introducing drama. I just hope for the opportunity to redeem myself. So y'all see in that space right there, this person is already asking for forgiveness and minimizing what happened. He introduced a drip of drama. You know, this is like adding a little bit of red food coloring to your water to make it red. You know, this toxic right there. So,
all right, Jen.
How do you explain this harem thing?
Oh, shocker. How do you know about that? So he doesn't know that y'all been talking. So he's like, how do you know about that? This is the face. When she moved out, she asked me what did I want out of life. I said I didn't know because I had never imagined anything about my adult life except having a wife and kids. So normal stuff. Even right there, you see, he had never. So a bit right here, could this be honestly? Could this be a bit of truth right here? Yes, this could absolutely be a bit of truth right here, where he hadn't imagined anything about outside of feeling and looking normal. Wife and kids, husband and kids, family, school, education. That makes you look normal to society, y'all. That makes you fit in. It's like, oh, that person has this vocation. That person has this life. And that person has this family, so that is a normal person. So he's worried about being normal. He hadn't thought outside of anything other than being and appearing normal. He wanted normalcy, wife and kids. I said that I was not allowing myself to dream up a new vision of my future, and that I needed to develop a new dream. She asked what the new dream would be. I said I didn't know. That's the problem. I don't know. I need to have the emotional space to create a new dream. She asked me what comes to mind first. I said, I don't, y'all heard the conversation that he had with her. This is him making this stuff up. This is him like,
yes,
this is what they call word salad. He's adding so many things right here. This is like, y'all know, if you want a regular salad, you just add lettuce, dressing, cheese, your meat of choice, maybe some tomatoes. He done threw on some salmon. He done threw on some lamb. Like, y'all have you ever had a salad with lamb on it? This is what this is. This is lamb salad right here. He done threw lamb on here, some gator skin, whatever. Like, you know, he's just making this stuff up as it goes along because he knows the more words that he adds, the probably less she's going to understand. You know, this is what he's hoping. Like, she's not going to read into all of this. She's going to just think I'm just too. He's hoping you don't read into all of this. That's the problem. I don't know. I need to have the emotional space to create a new dream. She asked what comes to mind first. I said the first fantasy that came to mind: living a life in the woods with a beautiful garden where I'm adored, wanted by all women, respected by all men. So is that true right there? I believe that's a bit of honesty right there. I say narcissistic people give you, I call it drip honesty. That is a drip of honesty right there. He absolutely wants he wants to live a life, maybe not in the woods with a garden. That's just shit that you say to get people to say, oh, a garden? What kind of garden will you plant? You know, because didn't he plant? I think he said something about a garden when Jess actually. But being adored and wanted by all women, respected by all men. That's a fantasy. That's delusions of grandeur right there. That's literally from the DSM-5, delusions of grandeur. That's literally, he just said it out loud. So yeah, that's a bit of truth right there. Independently, and I am independently wealthy. Are you? Are you? I don't know. That promissory note you signed with Jessica don't scream wealth. So just in that space right there, he's like, it's
And-
respect, and I am. Oh, so that's the dream. The dream is being independently wealthy. Okay, I thought he said he was independently wealthy right now. Okay, so
And I still.
they can't mind living a life in the garden. And we're so where was he at right here? Do I need to want a new dream fantasy? I wonder. That's why I needed to develop a new dream. I wonder if the unconscious fantasy is part of the reason I went in for the kiss with her yesterday. No, that's okay. No, and I still work with patients, but only when I want to. So he's just living a life that he just deals with people. He gets to pick and choose his clients. She said, "So you want a harem?" I said, "Well, I guess that's kind of what came up for me when you asked me to fantasize. So I guess that's part of me. What part of me does." So again, he's lying because he said it out loud. He's like, "I want a harem." He said it out loud. So that you see how quick people lie on the spot. First, he asks, "How do you know that?" And then he beat around. He literally beat around, ring around the rosy this shit to get to this point right here. He's literally beating the bush with a stick and just like. She asked me that I want a harem, and I just said yes. No, you said you want a harem because that's what you want. You want a harem. You want multiple people. I think Jen said earlier that she asked him, "Do you get off on multiple people dealing with you?" He said yes. So he wants a harem. He himself said that in not so many words earlier. I guess it kind of came up for me, but I also realized it's a fantasy and would not be realistic. That's why I needed to develop a new dream. I wonder if that unconscious fantasy is part of the reason I went for the kiss with her yesterday. Like, pretty much he's saying, like, I wanted to keep her on the hook. I'll cut that down. I want to keep her on the hook. Or I wanted to but he's not just keeping her on the hook. He's living two separate lives. This is where compartmentalization comes into play. He thinks that he can do this stuff with her and do this stuff with you, and it doesn't affect what he does with her. But now he knows he can't say it to you out loud because that doesn't make sense to you. But it makes sense to me because I have a personality disorder. When I did it, it felt bad. When I left her, it felt worse all afternoon. That's feeling even worse. I'm sorry. So now he's trying to play the victim. Like, I went in for the kiss, but I feel bad for it. I'm a worse person for it. Like Jessica, Jessica, don't take disrespect. This is not me. This is not meant to be me. He's making it seem like you like the point, like you have a poisonous kiss. Like your kiss was tainted. You had like some weird lipstick on. You know what I mean? He's allergic to you.
Yeah.
I see that enacting that fantasy for even 5 seconds has caused me pain, and you pain, and her pain. So now, but you see, so even how he wrote that, he put himself first. Like, he put himself first. It seems so subtle, but he showed you who's important to him. He's like, it caused me pain. Oh, and you. And her too. And I do not want to hurt people, and I do not want to feel as gross as I did yesterday and do today. So that kiss, Jessica, I don't know if you what kind of use some mouthwash, because the kiss and telling you he loves you is weird. You know what I mean? But then Jen responded to him.
You need help.
Straight to the point. Straight to the point. But yeah.
He sent like a sad emoji after that doesn't show up, and then Jen said,
You should feel bad. I don't believe for a second that you didn't know what you were doing. Everything you showed me was calculated to take advantage of my empathetic nature. You handpicked me to take part in your sick and twisted fantasy. If you didn't get caught, you would have continued to hurt me and Jessica even further. Are there any other women involved? How do you not know that you're NPD?
So in this space right there, I feel like that's so well written by you is crazy. It's so well written. So shout out to you for writing that so well. But literally, yes, all that is true. It's so true. It's literally so true. Handpicked take advantage. All that is, I don't need to add anything to that. I feel like I would do. I'll be doing an injustice to add anything to that. So it's like seriously, that's just well written. But in the only point I would say is just like, how do you know you're not? How do you not know you're NPD? Because he's probably not. He's probably not NPD. He's probably worse. He's the sliding scale. He's probably he's up the hill.
And he does know, right? You think he's
Oh,
aware?
he's super self-aware. He knows who he is. When he told Jess he wanted a harem, he knows who he is. But then he said, "I do feel bad. It makes sense for you to have concerns about my character, and I'm sorry for the pain I've caused you." No, you're not sorry. You know, I definitely have. I definitely have. So that's him Would you see how that's him being preparatory to hurt you in the future?
Wow.
Damn, I didn't realize that. That's him being that's him prepping you for the future. There's some future pain. This is not future faking. This is future pain. He's just like, hey, it's like, wow, this is really sadistic. I definitely have no, like, he's just saying that he's gonna hurt you in the future. This is him prepping, and
Wow.
because he's saying this up front right now, this is him escaping it later on. I told you I have had no intention of hurting you. You just got hurt.
Oh yeah, I've heard that before.
Yeah. So yeah, you understand that space. Taking advantage of you or hurting you. Yeah, so that's honest. That's him being that's him telling himself taking advantage of you. That's exactly what he's trying to do. Because what he responded to was super particular. I felt an innocence. I felt an innocent, genuine optimism about us. So now here comes the out. Here comes break out your thesaurus, because I have to. Because now he's just throwing big words and hoping to confuse you and make you seem like he's just like so loving and caring that he doesn't know how to talk just in layman's terms. He's just throwing words at you. This is him abusing with the dictionary right here. God, my inadequate boundaries seem to have damaged it beyond repair. That's something I need to reflect upon even more. So now that he wants to go into it, he told Jessica, but you see what he says, I need time to myself. When he gets time to himself, he's automatically looking for somebody else. He told Jessica, like, I need more time to myself. I need more time to journal. His journaling is messaging people on Tinder and Hinge. That's how he journals. She's like, "Dear diary / new supply."
He did say time for calling us friends too. So I guess
Jesus Christ. Yeah. I've learned something here, but at a big cost. I had an ill-conceived plan to remain friends with Jess in a lapse of judgment when she beckoned me for a kiss. I made mistakes, but I certainly beckoned me for a kiss.
Everybody saw the video, right?
Everybody saw the video. Yes, we saw the video. Beckoning. We saw Jess beckoning for a kiss.
I forced him over and beckoned him for a kiss.
Yeah, like Jesus Christ. But y'all see how that space goes. Like, but you see what the mindset of somebody like that is. He had every intent on trying to hurt you. This is intent versus impact. I feel like his intent and his impact were the same here. He intended on hurting you, and his impact was hurting you. This is what it is, right? So I made mistakes, but I certainly was. And is it the bottom of that one right there?
Sorry. There we go. Certainly was.
Maybe say, but I certainly was not trying to make my fleeting childish. Here goes with the language again, y'all. You don't need to talk to people like this. You don't need to. You know what I mean? But I certainly was not trying to make my fleeting childish fantasy come true. When did it become a childish fantasy? You just gave you the idea earlier. I messaged you on Instagram because I was into the simple nature stuff that seemed to be important to you, like it is for me. No, you messaged her because she was a victim of domestic violence. You said it. You responded to her on the domestic violence post. But you see how he's lying even right here. Oh, goodness gracious. I thought our beginning was quite sweet, simple, and peaceful, not calculated. Sick. So the first part, y'all, if y'all reading this, X out the first part, like red line this first part right here and start reading from sick. Read right here, calculated, sick, twisted, or manipulated, because that's what it was. Like I have made you feel, because that was the end. My intent was to make you feel like it was sweet, simple, but the impact and what I actually wanted to do was right here. I'm deeply humbled. Humbled. Just beat him. I feel like this is him. This is him being defeated right here. I'm deeply defeated and frankly humiliated that it turned out this way. There are no other people involved except my children who just decided to involve late last. But you see, I told you earlier that he had an issue with you talking to his daughter. You see right there, just involved late last night. He's still bringing it up right now. You know what I mean? There's no other, but you see it, the weird relationship he has with his kids. He has a very uniquely weird relationship with his oldest daughter. There are no other women in my life. You have the wrong impression of me, but I get it. I'm pretty certain that I make the same conclusions if I were in your shoes, which is the truth. He's just saying I would see the truth if I was in your shoes. This is where gaslighting comes into play. All I can say is I am deeply sorry to you. I know you need safety and calm in your life. He knew you needed safety and calm in your life, but he came and he was a disruptive force on purpose. The intent to be malicious and hurt you was already there from the beginning because he saw a level of vulnerability in you. Oh, victim?
Yep. I don't think he thought it was going to blow up in his face that
Oh,
quick.
hell no. That's why he said that's why he said he's humiliated because he was. You know what I mean? I can just imagine. If the fucking the Ring doorbell could zoom in on his shoes, I'm pretty sure there was like steam coming from his feet. He was so angry. He was so hot and angry. You know what I mean? you have the wrong impression of me, but I get it. I'm certain I made the same conclusion. All I can say is I'm deeply sorry. I know you need safety and calm in your life. I brought danger and chaos. So discarding me is probably the smart choice for you. Yeah, yes, that's honesty right there. It is a smart choice. I regret the choices I made that led to this disaster. You've been through a lot already, and I hope you find the peace the peace and love you deserve. So even in that space right there, he's telling you that he was a disruptive force in your life and being heartless and evil. And I regret the choices I made that led to this disaster, which means he didn't want to get caught up. He regrets like not turning Life 360 off or turning his phone off and just like, oh, my phone died. But in that space right there. So that is, yeah.
Okay. Then Jen says,
I hate you for what you made me feel hopeful for wasting my time and hurting my heart. And now you're just going to run away scared because you fucked up.
So there is hope in the world. There are good guys, even though they're rare. I hate that I hurt your heart too. I know I fucked up, but I'm not scared and I'm not running. I'm sad, I'm anxious, I'm remorseful, and I'm here. I'm willing to talk if it would help. I'm also regrettably willing to let go if that would help you. I want to see you again. There you go right there. I'm willing to let go if that would help you. But then he says, I want to see you again. But what I want seems utterly important given that. So now he's trying to play the victim again. Now you see how he's centering himself and being the victim right here? Utterly important under the circumstances that I created here. Yeah. So he, even in this situation right here, after all the pain and hurt he's caused, he's just saying that he's the victim. I'm still the victim here. I want to see you, but I understand if you don't want to see me again. Self-deprecating language. I'm regrettably willing to ask that it will help you.
then Jen says,
If you cared about me, you would have never taken a chance hurting my feelings. I'm more upset now that I have to go back to being completely alone after getting a taste of having someone to talk and connect with. You're sending me into a dark downward spiral. How could you even begin to repair the damage you've done?
As I understand it, reciprocating the kiss is the mistake I made that hurt you. What? That's the only thing he did was kissing her. No, not the sleeping with her. Not the I love yous. The kiss that you saw on camera. What you saw is what hurt you. Oh my goodness. This dude is a literal trip. What you saw is what hurt you. That's what he's saying right there. That's the only part you saw. I would not have done that if I were being more thoughtful. Like if I knew the cameras were on me and she would catch me, I wouldn't have done that. Like look at him. I momentarily slipped into an old familiar thing. Like, I ain't gonna, there's no comment. You can see in the video the moment I realize it and stop and leave. No, you don't. He wants you to go back and look. And when he stopped and left, he said, "I love you," and then he left. See you later. That's when he left.
Gave me a bunch of kisses before.
Yeah,
And
and
love.
like it's like one of those passionate fucking like literally Disney movie kids. Like he swung you around and just like on the dance floor and just like like at the prom.
Yeah, in love.
Oh my goodness. Even if you decide to cut me off, you'll be ready to connect with another person in due time. So he's so now he's worried about you finding somebody else. He's already saying you're gonna find somebody else. Here comes the love bombing. You're a wonderful woman. And there's no chance you'll be completely alone if you don't want to be. I think the only way I can repair this very, very young relationship is to have time to show you who I am. I'm here. And I want to engage with you on whatever level. See, even right there. So now he's telling you what he can do to fix this. But you can't fix this, y'all. So being real is, whatever makes you comfortable if you're at all interested. So now he's worried about you and being comfortable. I'm worried about your comfort right now. Not when I was talking to this girl. Now I was talking to my girlfriend earlier. Not when all this stuff was happening earlier. Right now, what makes you comfortable? Don't let some dummy like me throw you into a dark downward spiral. You're on the right track in your life. Things are getting better for you, and you haven't done anything to change that fact. You're okay. So yeah. But that's the honest statement right there. Don't let some dummy like me throw you into a downward spiral. But he's using it in a self-deprecating manner to make himself seem like the victim here. Like, he wants you to say, "No, you're not a dummy," and I get it. Women can be crazy sometimes. I get it. I can understand how women can stalk you. She's a stalker, and then you go back to him. But you didn't do that. Shout out to you for not doing that.
Mm-hmm. And then Jen says, "Oh wait, we got there. Sorry."
Okay. You went over to your recent ex-girlfriend's house, whom you never stopped sleeping with, the same day you had plans to see me. And now you're sticking up for yourself and minimizing it. It makes me want to puke. You dragged up all this pain in my life. You're bringing up all the hurt and anger I still feel for the horrific things that happened to me. I don't want anything to do with you.
And he says,
I understand. I'll let you be. I'm sorry. So right there in that space, that's probably when he feels defeated. So I'm pretty sure this is not the last message he sent you.
Yeah. Well, you can see Thursday right underneath that. Do you see that?
So okay. So I didn't see the bottom part. So I'm pretty sure that because that's him just feeling defeated. There's nothing I can say right now to break through. This is him using the textbooks. Then he said, "Jen, I'm very sorry I hurt you. Jen, I'm very sorry I scared you. Whether I'm a decent guy or a bad guy, it seems like this is a true at least. The scary thing is over now. You're okay. You're born to connect with people. You're not going to be alone forever." Yeah, there's some honesty right there. But like, again, he's trying to make it seem like he knows what's best for you in that space right there. He knows he can predict your future, But then I can read this part. He's like, "I'm fine. I'm already over it." He said, "Oh, good. You recovered quickly." Check out my evil lair. So now he's trying to. So this is him trying to minimize and poke fun at your trauma. Look, check out my evil lair of these gardens I planted. You see what I'm saying? That's so insidious. There's a movie called Insidious, and that's what he's been doing.
Yeah. So that was the next day. Text messages with Jen, and then Jen, you blocked him after that, right?
Yeah, I was done. So blocked. Never heard from him again.
Well,
shout out to you for doing that because that's tough to do right there, y'all.
Jen really did save me too. Like that night, she saved me. Like just to be able to also hear her side of the story, something I was never going to get closure from this person. I mean, she saved my sanity in that moment because I just felt like I had lost it. I appreciate you so much, Jen, and I appreciate you for coming on and telling your story and giving the other side that people don't usually get to hear. And thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Super shout out to you. Seriously, super shout out to you.
Even though it was a really fucked up situation, like he brought me like a really good friend into my life. So like the the loneliness that I was feeling, I don't really even have anymore because I call Jess and tell her everything now. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're friends
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, don't let him see that because there'll be another text message strand. It's like, you see, you were right. I was right. You're gonna be okay, and it wasn't all bad. I let you meet a friend that helped you heal, but me, my evil Lara has grown. I planted some ficus. It's just some weird shit. But like, super shout out to you. Seriously, I'm happy you're here. I'm happy you're still here. Super survivor.
All right. Well, have a good night, and we'll let you get out of this now. I really appreciate you coming in.
all
Seriously,
right.
thank you so much.
Yeah. Bye.
All right.
Hey,
Oh,
shout out to her, y'all. Super shout out to her.
such a strong person. Like amazing that she saw through him. I
And
mean,
shout out to you, Jess. I mean, seriously, like shout out to you for real. Like, cause they got way deeper than I thought it was gonna get, being realistic, y'all. Honestly.
that's deep.
It was way deeper. Shout out to you for surviving that and then
Well,
thriving, helping other people. Being on here helping other people, like super survivor, super thriver.
I have a little more left, a little more of a clip left. So shortly after I found out about Jen, um, someone else reached out to me on
my god!
social media, and another woman reached out to me, and it was about it's like within a little week after I caught him cheating. Um, and she's told me that he had matched with her on Match.com back in February of 2022. Oh no, sorry, of January of 2022. And then in February, he just told her that here, this. She sent me a couple of the text messages between them, and this was
Oh
about.
my
You
goodness!
guys remember my love bomb story? So in February, when he made me this card, he was actually talking to another woman on Match.com, and here we go. So
Woo!
it looked like
Y'all.
they were talking about maybe going to get something for his birthday or cake up there when I see those messages up there. But he tells her, "Good morning." I kept her name out for privacy. I have reached a fork in the road, and will be going down a different path. You seem like an incredible woman. I wish you the very best connections on your path ahead. And then she says, "Hi, Cody. That's interesting. Well, I wish you well. I would be interested in a friendship if you are too. Wish you the best and happy birthday." Because this was around his birthday. It's February 3rd, and it's around his birthday time. And he says, "I would like that very much. Thank you." And then she says, "Do you want to chat on the phone and meet for a hike sometime as friends?" So they had been talking and communicating. And then she asked, "Oh, well, how was your date? When we went out for Valentine's Day and whatever." And they've been talking. But anyway, she says, "Tell me how or what do you like about your date?" And he says, "She's really honest and keeps it real." And she says, "That's positive. Sounds like that's a really important to you."
Oh god damn
And he says, "Keep it, keep it." Looks like you lost your camera for a second.
it! Can you still hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It happens. That thing came off.
And then he tells her, you kept it very real today, and I'm grateful for that." So they had this secret friendship, whatever, from January until I guess August. But she told me then in June, she sent me a couple of the messages. In June, he'd sent her another message, telling her that he was having doubts about me. So he says, they had a message. He says, "You're funny. Yeah, things have been going pretty good for me. Otherwise, I graduate next week. I'm dating the same person. I have some doubts about her lately. How about you? Where are you at with dating lately?"
Y'all
So
see that seed right there? Y'all see that? Y'all see him drop the little seed into the ground right there? He's been digging out the garden since February. But then he's just like, "Thanks. Things have been going pretty good for me. Otherwise, I graduate next week. I'm dating the same person, and I have some doubts about her lately." Y'all see the seed drop?
Mhm.
That's the seed right there. And now here comes the water. Here comes the water.
Mhm.
I have some doubts about her lately.
Right.
How about you? Where you at? So this is him trying to secure the new supply. This is him watering the seeds right here.
And this is crazy to me because this is February of 2022. I mean, sorry, June of 2022. July of 2022 is when I was moving in with his house, and when we were getting the room ready for my daughter and merging our families. And when with all of this, the thing that pisses me off the most is that he was allowing us, me and my daughter, his family, his kids, all of us to become a family and be merged together, knowing he had no intention of this being a long-term relationship, knowing that he was still out looking, knowing he was still doing all of this, talking. And these are just who I know about, by the way. I
Yep.
feel very fortunate that I have this information. These are just the people I know about. Who knows how many others there are? I have no idea. But he just didn't have any regard or care for everybody in his life he's hurting. Me, my daughter, his children, the women before that, the children before that. The new supply that I've heard he has now has 3 children who a month after this, he already had a new supply, was bringing around his kids. I
Oh
mean,
my God.
it's like it's it blows my mind. So anyway, she told me that she cut off in August that he told her that he wasn't allowed to talk to her anymore because I wouldn't allow him to have female friends. So she said she hadn't heard anything at all from him until April when they went out to dinner and he told her that we broke up and that, he really cared about me and everything, but I went crazy. And then so she asked me what happened and I sent her the videos that you guys saw. And she said, now I can see why you went crazy. And then she cut off all contact with him too the next day. So that's the
Shout
story.
out to her.
Yes.
It don't. So this is the thing right here. It doesn't seem like people have a problem cutting them off. It just doesn't seem like when things start to pop up, it doesn't seem like people have a problem cutting them off. It's like, woo, time to go. It just seems like it's not like people cut them off or whatever. So shout out to y'all that listen to other people that are being that at least hold the floor for people that are trying to help you. Just like, hey, look, I'm coming to you as a woman. I'm coming to you as a man. This person toxic as hell. And just even like Jen earlier. Jen could have just been like, your ex really is crazy as hell. She stalked you over to my house. Oh my goodness, get in here and get some cheeks to make you feel better. She could have did that, But shout out to her for not doing that,
And she was grateful that she hadn't slept with him yet, and just was so new that like.
Oh, I know he's flaming hot. I know he didn't get the cheeks. I know he was fucking flaming hot. Oh my God, he's so angry at you. Oh my God, I know he's fucking furious. He didn't get the cheeks. Oh, he's fucking furious. Oh, he's mad as hell. Don't do this. Don't do this, Jess. Do what? This. Don't do this. He was fucking. Oh my goodness. He didn't get, he was fucking mad. I know he's fucking mad. Oh my goodness.
They want me to write this chance of
clapping cheeks. I know he was fucking furious right there. I know he was.
Well, that's my story now. I am, I'm so grateful for Lee wanting to do this show together because after all this pain, I was trying really hard to figure out like where can I work with comedians for a living. I'm a YouTube producer, YouTube live show producer, just so you guys know a little bit about me. These are the things I do for a living. And I was asking my comedian friends and talking with them, and they're like, I don't see anything funny in this, Jessica. I can't help you. I can't help you with figuring out how this is funny. And I started watching Lee's videos and oh my God, I finally laughed. I was finally laughing at this for the first time. And when I reached out to Lee and asked him if he'd be interested in something like this, to start a YouTube live show, I knew how to produce. And he said, yes, it really has helped save my life too. Like, it's helped me, get over this relationship. It's helped me start moving on. Obviously in the first couple of months I was losing my mind and I, was crying and doing the messages and everything we all do before we start to go completely no contact and telling him he's got issues, he needs to stop hurting, just doing everything you can imagine I did for a while. And finally, I'm feeling like I'm getting on the other side of this. And I appreciate Lee for all your help. I appreciate everybody else in the chat who's been, watching the shows and who's been helping each other and I mean, it just feels so good. And so like, it just, I feel like there's some purpose coming out of this pain.
Shout out to you for surviving because that's a lot right there. I'm telling you that is a survivor story right there. Seriously, shout out to you for being like getting out of it,
Yeah,
surviving it, coming through the other end, and being able to share it with other people and like helping other people. Like you absolutely definitely helped Jen, and you can tell she's extremely grateful for that because he was about to be super toxic and messy as hell, and he He's about to ruin her life.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
He was literally about to ruin her fucking life. So Jen, yes, he was about to ruin Jen's life. He was.
Well,
You know.
so I know we don't have much time now today for any additional questions, but next week we'll be back with all that. And we'll be back.
Oh yeah, we'll be back next week, y'all. Like
Thank-
seriously, thank y'all for tuning in.
I do have a pellet cleanser before we leave tonight. So I love my the favorite video of the week. So I thought tonight we could use a little prayer, like a pellet cleanser prayer. So here's my favorite video of the week.
Get ready with me to do a toxic narcissistic prayer. The first thing you want to do is pray really, really fast because we've been sinning all day and hopefully, God hasn't caught up just yet. You also want to pray in a room other than your own. You do not want your partner to get the blessings that are meant for you. The very next thing you want to do is get angry and passionate and just say, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. Knowing that you probably do it again tomorrow. But it's all forgiving, right? So, and while you're doing this toxic narcissistic prayer, don't be afraid to get up off your knees. My knees hurt from ducking accountability all day, and I just feel like I deserve a break. Next, you want to ask for forgiveness for cheating. Get down on bended knee. I'm gonna marry this person. Just kidding, not just yet. We'll save that tool for later, just in case we get caught again. Dear God, or whoever's listening to me, I promise I'm done lying. I promise I'm done cheating. I promise I'm done manipulating. Today. Don't forget to bring some water or some holy water because this hurts. Praying hurts sometimes, y'all. When you've been bad all day, prayer hurts. Please do not dip your finger in holy water when you've been evil. It will burn you. Third degree holy burns. Anyways, please forgive me for all my sins I have committed and will commit. Thank you. Bye-bye.
And will commit.
Will commit. Shout out to because that sound like the story we just heard. He's just like, I didn't mean to hurt you, and I didn't mean to hurt you in the past, and and I don't mean to hurt you in the future. But you probably gonna get hurt. Buckle up. So yeah, shout out. So super shout out to everybody who tuned in tonight. For real.
Thank you so much.
Shout out to you, Jessica. Seriously, yo, like shout out to Jessica. Give her. I don't have the sound over here, but clapping hands for Jessica. There you go.
I definitely feel like some sort of weight's lifted too, just being able to talk about it. So thank you guys all again for listening. I really appreciate it. And know that I understand your pain as the show continues on. I understand where you're coming from. I understand the pain and the hurt. And I'm here. I want to be here. I want to help. I want to do everything.
Yeah. Super shout out to you though. Seriously, because that was I was about to make some jokes doing that video, but then you started yelling. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just let it. You notice I didn't pause it after a certain point. I was like, I'm gonna just let it play. I can't. There's nothing I can say right here. I was like, there's nothing I can say because like you're doing enough for it. And like, shout out to you for being like for being strong and authentic because that right there, a lot of people in that space, they wouldn't be able to handle that face-to-face situation. They would have saw him there, drove by, saw him on the porch, talking, conversating, and just drove home and just beat the hell out of themselves.
Everything
blame themselves.
Everything inside of me, I couldn't trust him. And as soon as I saw the reality, all I could think in that moment was to warn her. Like I've been dealing with this bullshit for so long, and I was like, all I could think of was to warn her, as if I could. I didn't even care what he had to say anymore. I was so sick of him lying to me. I was so sick of it, as you can see in the phone call. I was so sick of it. I knew he was doing all these things, and he was trying.
You were fucking done in that phone call. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but like I tell people, you have to cross that threshold to be done. You cross that threshold in that phone call. I could just feel. I could fucking feel. That's why I didn't say that. I was like, I was gonna say like, hey guys, this is how you get to this point where you like, fuck yeah, or like, you know what, she's there, she's there. He's like, you're fucking lying, you did. I was like, you know what, there's nothing I need to say here. She's got it. I was just like, I was like, yeah, she's got it right there. There was nothing that he could say.
No,
literally, you beat him, and he was fucking angry as hell because you defeated him. I promise you. There's some sidebar stories because like Jessica's been no contact for where you at now?
24 days.
24 days. So shout out to 24 days no contact because there's been some popping up on the bushes with some some male shit that's been going on. But she defeated him, and I know he feels that shit.
Well, thanks again, you guys, for listening, and I hope we all have a great night. And
That's something that came through real quick. So
oh,
thanks for the super sticker. It's my life with Nalasha. Appreciate it. Thank you for coming through. Thank you, Aaron, for joining the memberships. And Shayna,
did you see the balloons?
I saw it. That's weird. I don't. So I think AI is getting crazy because when I do zooms, if I do a thumbs up, something will pop up over here. It will like something will pop up. Yeah, there you go. You see that shit? Like it's reading my shit. It's like it's reading my hands. It's like it's reading you. I hate this. Shanna, is this Shanna that I know?
I don't
Huh.
know.
I got a message from Shanna, an email from Shanna earlier. So I have a photographer named Shanna. I don't know if they heard to email me earlier. There was an email that came through earlier from Shanna Jarrett. I don't know if it was her. Interesting. We might need to talk next week. We talk pictures. Yeah. Oh, I was like, am I messaging this? I was like, I see my name pop up in the chat. We were all here. Francis, what's going on, girl? Be safe, y'all. Thank y'all seriously, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning into this episode, y'all. We'll be back next week. Same time, same place, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time.
Yep.
I know there's some times between that, Mountain and Central. Y'all figure, hey, type in what time is Central Time? Eastern. Do that, y'all, because I don't want to mess y'all up, y'all. But seriously, y'all, if y'all want to follow Jess, share your
follow me on Instagram at Jessica D. Montes. I'm on YouTube. You can follow me at Baby Jessica Montes, TikTok Baby Jessica Montes, and I'm gonna have some other projects coming along the way. So but now this is a focus that I'm very much I feel like my passion right now is this, and that's where I'm going.
Yeah, Jessica has a very uniquely named podcast coming up later on, y'all. That she's doing. I'll let her share that with y'all when she's ready to share that. But I was just like, that's the perfect name for it. So y'all will want to be part of it. I promise you. So there you go. 130 days. Shout out to you. Seriously, that's tough, y'all. One hour is tough.
But by the way, put them in the comments. Put your no contact. How long you've gone? After the live's done. I like seeing that. How long you've gone no contact down in the comments.
Yeah, drop it in the comment section how long you've been no contact, because like I said, it helps. And also, alcohol and no contact don't mix. Because Jessica would have been over that 24 days. It would have been a little instead of sipping paint, she started sipping in Texas.
I'll slip up.
Yeah.
I found out about the new supply, and I was like, "How could you hurt 3 more children?" It was like text like that, drunk, and the kids. It was awful. But 24 days now, and I blocked him now too. He's blocked, so he's been blocked on everything except my phone until those 24 days ago. Now he's blocked on that too, and I don't care to hear anything.
Shout out to you, for real though. Seriously, it's Francis. Thank you for tuning in. Francis has a very unique story too, though. Shout out to Francis. I thought so. I remember. So the thousands of people, Francis, I remember you. Shout out to you. But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in, y'all. Seriously, y'all, we appreciate y'all being here. Next week, same narc time, same narc place. Sound like Batman, don't it? Narcissistic Batman, y'all.
I like that setup. Same narc. Same narc.
Peace, y'all.
All right.
Waving the red flag with your favorite self-aware narcissist.